right. So I just did the fledgling new member orientation, and all of this information is relevant. We just went for a purple background on this, so it is an NHAA color, and we're always trying to use our logo colors for our branding. So don't mind that little aspect of that.
That's really magenta.
So what we're going to be talking about today is this is our agenda, who we are and what we do, member benefits, member responsibilities, the big deal, which is of course exhibition opportunities, things to know to enter an exhibition, how to find information, and our staff contact info. So I think most of you already know a bit about the NHAA, but I just really like to drive home the point that, you know, we are here to serve you, our artist members. And, you know, one of our big goals is to provide resources such as education, lectures. We have a video library on our member portal that I'm going to show you today that has classes that you can watch and take anytime you want about Framing 101. We have how to have a successful solo show and lots of other resources like that, just to help you be a little bit more adept at the business side of art. That's a big focus for us, and a lot of resources that we try to create for you. We also have satellite spaces in Manchester, Dover, Derry, and Concord. So our headquarters will always be in downtown Portsmouth, but we're always looking to expand and to create more exhibition opportunities around the state. And Carl can attest to that, since his studio is right adjacent to our partnership exhibition, Trash to Treasure, that is now on view till the end of April with Mosaic Art Collective. So that's one of our Manchester satellite opportunities. And we'll be going through more of that as we go through the presentation. So we're always trying to create more member benefits for you. But you, as a member, you have the ability to exhibit your work in multiple member shows each year in our Portsmouth gallery, sell your work in our galleries and online, exhibit at all of our satellite locations. We have opportunities for artists at all levels, emerging, mid-career, and established. And to that point, you can rent a gallery wall or an entire gallery for a solo exhibition. Or if you are interested in being a curator, you can also curate an exhibit based on NHAA member artists. We also have a small works gallery that changes out, I think it's 4 times a year, and you're welcome to submit work to that at no cost. You get discounted entry fees for all of our juried shows, discounted registration fees for education opportunities, our monthly newsletter, and plenty of weekly emails nudging you to participate in more of our programming, and the professional staff here at the NHAA. We all like to think of ourselves as artist cheerleaders and also your art concierge. So it's very common for us throughout the day to get questions, emails, phone calls from artists saying, hey, I saw this opportunity. You think that's going to be a good fit for me? Or, you know, oh, hey, I'm really struggling to get a good photo of my artwork. Can you help me? You know, do you have any tips or tricks? So always know that we're here for you. And if you do have questions for us, as long as it fits within our schedule, and you are patient with how long it takes us to get back to you, we're happy to answer any questions you may have. And now on to your side of the deal, the member responsibilities. So the big one is that you pay your annual membership dues. I think most of you have done that already, but for those of you who haven't, I'm going to make sure that you know where to do that and how to do that. We used to have volunteering be a requirement, and we encourage everyone to volunteer and get involved because it's also fun to be part of a community. But the volunteer hours are no longer required. So we love to have help either hanging our exhibitions if you're curious about learning about the Sorry, whoever has a dog, do you guys mind muting yourself so the rest of us don't hear that?
You
Um,
just tell me how to mute it's my dog. I'm just trying to figure out how to mute.
okay, there, I think I just muted you, so you're okay now. Um, yeah, so we also have opportunities for First Fridays. We always love to have volunteers to help count visitors. Arthur was an amazing help this past First Friday, and he was at the front of the gallery counting visitors. We also need bartenders. There's lots of great ways to get involved with that. And we want you to make sure that all of the work that you exhibit under the NHAA banner is professional, it follows our guidelines, and that you represent the NHAA in a positive light. There's other ways to get involved. If you're interested in joining one of our special interest groups, we're in the process of rebooting our photography special interest group. I also heard some painters. There's some painters in the group, and we have a painting group that meets on the third Sunday of the month at the Levy Gallery. And it's run by the artist John LaCours, who's an NHAA member. And we will be restarting our plein air painting group, which will run from May to October on every other Wednesday. And we have some really great programming set up for the plein air painters. We meet all around New Hampshire. I will say that most of the meetups are sort of focused on the Seacoast, but we do go outside of the Seacoast. And if you have a location that you would like to suggest, you can always send it to me, and I'll forward it to our plein air coordinator, who is John Chevenel, who's a very accomplished watercolor artist. And you can also join the board or become a board advisor. Please reach out. We want to hear your ideas. We're in the process of, you probably saw some emails with a survey about figuring out NHAA critique group. So if you saw that, please fill out that survey, because we are taking input from you, our members, on how we decide what programming we're gonna put our energy into. So I'm going to break down all of the different exhibition opportunities, because if, as a new member, sometimes the difference between what's a member show versus a juried show can be a little bit confusing. So to start, we're going to talk about member shows, which is really exciting. As your first opportunity to show as an NHAA member, our May exhibition is a member show, and the theme for that is Element. So we're talking about an Element. All of our member exhibitions are designed to give you a prompt, something where you can either create a new piece or look at your collection and think about how your work resonates with that theme. The theme of Element, we're thinking of the intersection of art and science. And that's we expect artists to interpret that broadly. So if you are, Anne, I think your work would be really great for that show. But also landscape artists are welcome to submit your work. Carl and Scotty, your work, where there's sort of these disparate elements coming together, would work really well for that as well. And as a NHAA member, you're entitled to submit 1 or 2 pieces, and as long as it coordinates with the theme, it will be accepted and put on view in the gallery for May. We usually do 3 to 4 of these per year. There's no juror. That being said, you do have to follow the exhibition and the presentation and framing guidelines. But we put your work for sale on our online gallery. There are a few opportunities, such as our December exhibition, where you can also bring in bin work or artist books, because that's sort of our holiday show. And if you do sell a piece, then we let the buyer take it home with them right then and there, and that gives you another opportunity to come and drop off another piece to the gallery. Whenever we do these exhibitions, it's a 60-40 split with the commission. So the artist gets 60 and the NHAA keeps 40. That's of course to cover our costs of maintaining our space and our gallery and also doing the PR and the marketing for the event. And our openings for member exhibitions at the Levy Gallery in downtown Portsmouth are always going to be the first Friday, 5 to 8 p.m. We do have a lot of information to cover. So if you do have questions, please save it all for the end. Be happy to clarify anything if you guys have questions. The next type of exhibition opportunity is open jury. So right now on view, we have the Omer T. Lassonde exhibition, which is always going to be in April. This is the 37th year that we've done it. And this is open to all New England artists. So as NHAA members, you get a discount to submit your work. But it's open to non-members as well. We like to get prestigious jurors. The juror that we had for the Lassonde was Teresa Choi from the Ogunquit Museum of American Art. We have a few other juried shows coming up. So I heard that at least someone dabbles in printmaking. So that will be our July juried exhibition. In August, it'll be the Jack Parfit, which is photography only. This year's theme is going to be on domesticity and memory. And very exciting, for the first year ever in September, we're holding Biennial 1. Now, this is there's some information on our website that you can read so you can get an idea of what we're going to be looking for. There is no theme, but we are looking for artists that are taking artistic risks, working in abstraction and addressing contemporary issues in their work. The Joan L. Dunphy exhibition always happens in November. So that's another one where you can sort of put that on your calendar and you'll be able to participate in that or submit work to it year after year. And this year's theme is on mental health. So we're working with Yasmin Safarda from the Kimball Jenkins School of Art. She's going to serve as our juror this year. And there's really great monetary awards for most of these exhibitions. The first place award is in the range of $1,000. For the printmaking and photography, it's a little bit less, but for the Lassonde and for the biennial, those prizes are $1,000. And the Dunphy, I believe, is $800. Jack Parfit, I believe, is $750. So there's really great opportunity to win some cash awards. And we ask that if we do sell your work, you leave your work up for the duration, even if it is sold. So we ask our buyers with a few, to leave the work for the duration, because once it's juried, it's juried. You can't replace images like you can for the member exhibitions. And then we have small works. So there's, again, no juror for this. It rotates every 2 months. There's also no theme. You can have one small piece, and there is a very strict size limitation. So your work has to be either 8x8 or 8x10. And what we mean by that is that if you're going to, if you're working on a panel or canvas or a piece of paper or whatever your medium is, if you're printing your photography, we want the size of the artwork to be 8x8 or 8x10. If you frame it and it's in a large, and there's, an inch or two or, a frame around it that makes your work a little bit larger than the 8x8 or 8x10, that's okay, as long as the artwork itself fits into those size categories. Because there's no theme, having them all the same size serves as like a nice unifying way to make it look cohesive as a body of work. You're also allowed to have up to 5 bin pieces. And those need to be matted to 8x10 or 11x14. The artwork can be any size, but the backing board or the mat outside of the mat needs to be 8x10 or 11x14. This is a really popular program in the summertime because a lot of tourists will come in and browse the gallery, and a lot of people like to pick up the bin work or note cards or things like that that we have in the front of the gallery. And this year we did a February small work show to kind of celebrate the beginning of our exhibition calendar, and it went really well. And there were we sold a lot of work, with most of our buyers buying 3 or 4 pieces at a time, which was really exciting to see. And then we do also put a price limitation, which is the maximum price for any work in small works is $400. So we really encourage you to use this as an opportunity to try something new, work small, do an experimental piece, and definitely keep in mind all of these parameters as you're working. So since I started as the executive director and started working for NHAA, it'll be 2 years in July. I really pride myself on the expansion of our offsite opportunities. So for a long time, we've had the Concord Chamber of Commerce, which rotates every 2 months. It's 1 artist per rotation, and it's pretty much first come, first serve. You apply by sending an email to Carol Van Loon. Our 2023 exhibition calendar is full, but we will launch, we'll reopen that for 2024. We also have a long-standing relationship with the League of New Hampshire Craftsmen with their annual Craftsman Fair at Mount Sunapee. This happens in August, and the NHAA has a tent there, which is really exciting because we are the only outside organization that is allowed to vend at this event. So we have a tent where our members are allowed to rent an area or buy a panel, and then you can display your work during the fair. This is a pretty competitive opportunity, and it is there's a very high interest. So unfortunately, we do have a limited amount of space that we have available, but we do our best to sort of spread around the opportunity as much as we can. We also have the Sheaf Warehouse in Prescott Park, which is a historic boat shed right here. And we use this, we turned it into an art gallery, and the back doors open up onto the harbor. It's really beautiful spot to hang out in the summer. And this is open to all members as long as you can volunteer. We have the help of interns to run the program, but we do need our main staff is really busy at our Portsmouth location. So we do need artist help to gallery sit and help make sales throughout the summer. There's weekend shifts available, and we try to make it as accessible as possible. So if you are coming from far away and you want to participate, rather than take one short shift and then have to do a big drive back and forth, you can sign up for the whole day and do 2 shifts in one. We usually require every artist who signs up to sign up for 4 to 5 shifts. A new space that I helped develop is LaBelle Winery in Derry. It's 75 feet of wall space, and it can be split between multiple artists. We have been helping, the NHAA curatorial team has been helping to curate these exhibits by one artist will say, oh, I'm interested. We'll get another artist who will be interested. And we will look at all the artists' work and help decide really whose work is going to look really good together. So right now we have a really cool exhibit up at LaBelle Winery. It's called Breath of Color. And it has Angie Follansbee Hall, Elisa Marie, and Adele Sanborn. And they are all artists working in different mediums, but there's a real sort of feminine approach to the work. And it just really looks great together. So that's another opportunity. And those exhibitions happen quarterly. We have our joint member exhibition at Mosaic Art Collective right now in Manchester. We're hoping to do more of those sort of pop-up collaborations. And the Art Center in Dover, we have one wall available to rent and we have one joint member exhibition. So this year, the joint member exhibition will be in July and August. It's called Creme de la Creme. This photo here with the berets, it's a really fun exhibition. Berets are encouraged for the opening reception. There is this Eiffel Tower Parisian backdrop and we have a photo booth. So it's a really fun community. The community comes together. There's really great artwork. And it's really fun to collaborate with the Art Center in Dover. So definitely think about participating in that event. And then we have the exhibition proposal series. So this is one of our most competitive opportunities. This is where you pitch your idea to the NHAA curatorial team on a solo exhibition or an artist curated exhibition. So if you have friends in the NHAA, or if you come to our shows, our exhibitions, and you notice a few artist names, you see their work in our member shows, and you're like, wow, their work would look super good with my work. Or maybe you're a sculptor and you really want to have a show, but you want there to be work on the walls too. I love to see partnerships between 3D artists and 2D artists. I also think it's really fun to mix different mediums, but to all be on the same theme. So if you're a photographer and you're shooting farms, why not find a plein air painter who's interested in painting farms? And then you can have an artist curated exhibition with both of your work where it really feeds off of each other and enhances the work. So we put out a call for proposals to all of our members in the fall. We do it once a year, and we ask you to submit a proposal that will be reviewed by our panel, the curatorial team. And we also ask you to include 2 images of your work. This is where you have to prepare your artist statement and tell me exactly what you want to do, when you want to do it, where you want to do it, why you want to do it. There's a few of you here who got to take my class last night, Advancing Your Art Career. So remember all those tools and tricks that I gave you last night, and this is where you can put that into practice. What's really great about this is that because there is a rental fee and you pay that up front, it changes the commission split. So for solo shows, it's 80-20. You take home 80. The 20% goes to the NHAA. We do the PR for you, and it is a little bit of a joint approach because we find that the artists who help do some of their marketing on social media really have a lot more success. But we do really help write the PR and we send it out to our contacts. We also give it to you to send out to your contacts. The artist can work with the hanging committee to hang and arrange their work. It's really up to you, but we are there to support you and to help you if you've never done this before or if you would like a little bit of assistance. The cost is based on the size of the wall or the gallery. So if you come to our exhibition that's up now, or if you come next month in May, when you walk in the gallery, we have our main gallery, which is where we have our large group shows, all of our juried shows and our member shows. And then we have the other side of the gallery where the East Gallery is the room that has like that big front window that's facing the street. And then it goes back and we have the South Gallery in between. And in the back is the Fraser Gallery that's closest to our kitchen prep area. So all 3 of those spaces are available to rent. And if you only want one wall, that's also available. We also have new for the first time this year, the D. Pratt Framer Artist Opportunity Fund. And this is a grant that you can apply for that will cover your exhibition fees. So if you are intimidated by the upfront cost of renting a gallery, then you can apply for the D. Pratt Framer grant. And it is a competitive opportunity, but there are funds available for artists if you can't afford the fees. And what's also great about Deep Pratt Framer is they also provide support on your presentation. So if you're intimidated by having to frame all of your work for your solo exhibition, you can reach out to them and they will frame one piece. At least this year, they decided to frame one piece per artist pro bono, no charge whatsoever, and to also give deep discounts on framing if you choose to frame your work. So that's a great opportunity as well. And now I want to take a minute to show you where to find information on our and how to navigate our member portal. So I'm gonna go out of the presentation and take you to our website. So this is the NHAA website, and right here at the top, this is where you're going to see what is currently on view. So here we have the 37th annual Omer T. Lassonde. You can click on these online galleries and they will take you to all of the work that was juried in. And you can even click on it further and you can see the full size image and see it expanded. So I'm showing you this because this is a great tool for all of our artists to put a link on your social media, to share this with your collectors, if you do a newsletter. It's great for your search engine optimization and all of those things. And we have a number of artists that sell work on our website with the buyers never having come into the gallery. So, and if you're also just curious to see what work is selling, everything that has sold gets marked with a banner. This show has been selling really well, which is really exciting. And then back to our homepage. We also have galleries just like that for our featured artists. Those are the artists who have been selected for the exhibition proposal series that we just spoke about. This month, we're doing a special sculpture exhibition that's in the Fraser Gallery, so you can see all the work there. This is our offsite exhibition in Dover with Hannah Joy Hopkins. You can take a look at her exhibition online as well as seeing it in person in Dover. And that work that I was telling you about at LaBelle Winery, this is really such a fun show. It's a great spot to go have brunch at LaBelle Winery and then go upstairs from the restaurant and check out the work. Really like all of the different textures in this work. And it is such intimate work too, with the calligraphy and the words and everything in it. So I highly recommend that you check this out. And it's also great to scope it out if you are interested in maybe having a show there to see the scale and the space and how the work comes together. Down here, we have our calendar of events. So you can click on any of these and it will give you information about the artist. This is really exciting. We have our very first WC gallery installation called Restroom. This is by an artist, Caitlin Little, and she's a performance artist in addition to creating this art installation. So we had a great time with her sort of unveiling the gallery during our opening. Stay tuned for more events from her. We have, this is really important right here. This is our calls for art. So up here, if you want to click on this one, you can read more about the biennial one and what we're looking for. The application isn't live yet, but we will be launching that very soon. But this way you can at least read what we're looking for and get prepared. There's a few days left, 2 days in fact, to submit to the Racial Unity Team's Art and Poetry Challenge. This exhibition will be on view at the NHAA in October. So it's a really meaningful project, and it's a great way that the NHAA is helping to promote the event in the community. And this is the May Element show that I was telling you about. This is how you apply for that member show that all of you are entitled to have 1 or 2 pieces. Sorry, I have this Adobe Acrobat plugin, but when you open it on your computer, it probably won't look like that. But this is typically what our member show calls for art look like. We start up here with the month and the title of the exhibition, and then we give you a little prompt. So right here, we have art and science are seen as 2 opposite parts of life, but can we find how they connect? Is it up close? Is it an up close photo of something under a microscope, or maybe a painting of the human nervous system resembling a tree's root system? This year, we want to see how the elements of life connect and how and can be expressed through artistic mediums. We ask all artists to write a statement on how your artwork relates to the theme. And then these are all of your key dates to remember, including drop off and pickup. If you ever really want to submit to something, but you're just like a day or 2 outside of the range for pickup or drop off, please send us an email and let us know. We know that, you know, a lot of us have day jobs in addition to being artists, and we try to accommodate you whenever we can. So don't let these dates stop you from applying. Just make sure that you reach out to one of the members of our team and just ask and make sure that, you know, we can make it work with our timeline. The eligibility, NHAA members, that's all of you. There is a hanging fee. It's $12 for 1 and $22 for 2. We try to keep this really affordable. It just helps us with our cash flow. And we are a nonprofit organization. So it's the cost of labels, it's the cost of the PR, it's all of that we're just trying to mitigate as we can. All work must be created within the last 5 years and not shown at the Levy Gallery. So keep that in mind. We really want to see new work. And we don't allow you to sort of show the same work over and over. So that's why we have this bit about not shown at the Levy Gallery. All of these blue, click here, or these blue links will take you to another page that will allow you to pay your entry fee and submit your work. So you can just quickly, let's see, let's go here. This is what our art call looks like. If you've never used art call before, you will have to make a new account. And you just hit this orange button up here, register and apply. And then it'll ask you for your basic information, your title, the size of your work, and then it will have a spot for you to upload your work. If you struggle with this, just give us a call during our normal gallery hours, and we will do our best to walk you through it. A lot of times when you call, sort of have this up on your screen, and we'll like walk you through step by step what you need to do. We find that's the best way if you've never used this platform before to get you onboarded. And then back to our website. This is information about those special interest groups that I was mentioning. So if you click on the Plein Air Meetup group, this has some information, and this is an online form where you can submit your email address so that you'll be added to the email list. So every time we go and host a Plein Air event, you'll be on that list to get out, to be able to join the group. And if you do decide to join the group, we're also having a Plein Air exhibition called Fresh Air that will be in November after the Plein Air season has closed. And that will be in our East Gallery. So definitely think about joining this group and participating in that exhibition. I also want to show you our member portal. So up here on this navigation bar up at the top, if you go down under membership, and I'm not clicking anything, I'm just holding my mouse over this. I'm going to click on member portal here. And normally it will take you to an all white page that says that with like a little password that has an arrow. And I know I sent this out in my first email to all of you, but the password is the same for everyone. It's all lowercase, no spaces, I love art. And then once you hit that little arrow, it'll take you to this page. And if you ever forget the password, feel free to shoot me an email, give me a ring on the phone, and I'll give you that password. If you haven't already made your membership payment, that's what this is right here. So this is a great resource for any questions you may have, and we update it periodically with new information regarding our association. We're excited to have you as a member of this creative community. Please click the button below to make your yearly membership payment. Okay, we're gonna click. It takes you to this online form where you can select if you're a regular, a senior, or an artist under 30. You can click here on the donation schedule for yearly or one time. This is a new program that we're using. We haven't successfully gotten the yearly thing to work yet, but we just started using this. So if you want to sign up for it, you can, but we will, if it doesn't go through for whatever reason, we'll always stay on top of you for your dues. And then this is where you're going to fill out all of your information. If you choose to, you can also add an additional 3% to cover the processing fees. That just helps us as a nonprofit organization put more be able to provide more resources for you. If you are an artist where your billing name, like what you use to pay your membership dues and your fees, is different from your artist name, please include that in the comments. Sometimes it can be really confused for artists who have multiple names, or maybe they go by one name for their artist account and then they go by a married name for they're sort of paying their bills. So just please let us know. We love accommodating you, but just this way, if we see payments coming through that we're like, who's this? Who's this attributed to? We want to make sure that if you're paying, we're crediting you for it. There's also payment buttons in the member portal for our member shows. Like right here, we have the Element show. This is how you make your payment for that. If you want to review any of this information, you can click on the PowerPoint here. And then you can also watch the fledgling new member orientation. And once we finish this presentation, we'll put another button here for the new members, the spring 2023 new member orientation. So you can come back and watch this. The general information for exhibiting your work. These are some really great resources. This one is, I think, especially helpful if you have the solo show here or at another gallery. This is a great timeline for the types of materials and things that you will need to do, setting goals, prepare, advertising and marketing, pricing and selling your work, this timeline. What do you do 7 to 8 weeks prior? What do you do 6 weeks prior, 4 weeks prior, 1 to 2 during the exhibition? So we really try to put as many of these types of resources on the member portal for you to have access to. And if there's ever anything that you really wish was on here but isn't, please let me know, and we'll get the team right on it. Presentation and framing guidelines. This is really important for you who haven't had your work in a gallery before. We go over the general guidelines. We talk about works on paper. We do allow, so it says here, works on paper may be framed. If framed, it should be matted and lifted away from the glass, but also if delivered unframed, the artist is required to provide a professional hanging system and instructions such as magnets, grommets, nails, things like that. So we have a very specific hanging system. It's the Walker rod system, which is why we put this in place, because we are open to alternative ways of displaying your work. We just ask that you help us out with the hardware. And then when it comes to works on canvas or cradled panel, you don't need to frame your work. We just ask that the sides of the canvas are clean or finished. And we don't like the use of tape, but you could, paint them all black. You could do a gallery wrap. All of that type of thing is totally acceptable. We also have information for 3D work. We have a very We have a pretty good selection of pedestals here. But if you have something, if you want a pedestal that has a light on it, or that is, you know, a very specific dimension for your work, definitely be in touch with us. We might ask you to provide that, or we have other sculptor members who might be interested in collaborating on a volunteer project with building some new pedestals. If you do video or animation work, we do accept that, but the artist is responsible for supplying and installing the monitors or any other required equipment. I'm hoping to be able to write a grant and to get some funding so we can supply more equipment, but this is sort of what we have for the moment. And then going back to our member portal, we have the exhibition agreement, which I have a whole slide about that we're going to talk about. We have inventory labels. These are our calendars. So if you want to see what's upcoming throughout the year, this is the video and slideshow resource library I was telling you about. Here's the video on how to have a successful solo show. This is the one about information on our exhibition proposal series. We have Framing 101 and the slideshow for Framing 101. We also have a video on art fairs, so definitely check those out if those seem like topics that you would like to learn about. Here we have our volunteer sign up. So I just clicked on that button and now it's taking me to the Sign Up Genius page. So you can see Arthur was signed up right away for our first Friday. Thank you so much, Arthur. And you can also see here that we have on most of the days, so including this coming weekend, we have a gallery salesperson who's on staff. So that means that you don't have to worry about making a sale. You don't have to worry about, oh my God, am I going to do something wrong? You get to come, volunteer, enjoy meeting patrons, enjoy spending time in the gallery with some of that pressure taken off of you about making the sales and how to do everything right. So it's also a great way to network with other artists, to get to know Mandela and our team. And then at the end of the month, we have changeover. So this is where the artists come to drop off your work and pick up your work. So if you live far away, say you're living in the Boston area, this is a great way for you to come volunteer, meet lots of other artists, and drop off your work, and then kind of spend a little bit more time in Portsmouth than just, you know, a quick, I'm driving just to drop off my work and then I'm done. This is, I can't stress enough what a great way this is to meet other artists, because all of the artists who are participating in the events have to come pick up their work or drop off their work. So you'll get to introduce yourself and meet them. Then we also have our exhibition committee. Our exhibition committee is a team of volunteers who are responsible for arranging and hanging the artwork. It's a really great group of people. We will train you on how to use our hanging system. And we have plenty of slots available if you are interested in participating in that. You could always use some help. And we start early in the morning and we go till we're finished, which is usually, sometimes we finish early at like 12:30. Sometimes it takes us a little longer. This also, we always need help putting up labels, you know, kind of getting hanging signage, doing vinyl, that type of thing. And if you're curious about learning those things, it's a great volunteer opportunity because we train you on how to do all of that. This is the prospectus for the Small Works exhibit. If you want to participate in that, the next changeover is going to be in May. And what's really great is when you click on this, it has a calendar for the whole year on it. Sorry, it takes a little while for it to load. So, let's see. This is the wrong one, so I'm sorry. That's a note for me to update that link. But normally it's a little different. It has a calendar right on front, which will say that May is going to be the next time. So you don't even need to register for it. You just bring your work with the inventory label that fits that description that I was telling you about, the 8x8 or 8x10. And I'll make sure that all of you get sent the correct copy via email, so you won't have to go digging for it on the website. These are the gallery floor plans for when you're thinking about your exhibition proposal series, information about Concord. These are all of our bylaws, our whistleblower policy, information about our annual meeting. We legally have to have all of this available to you, so there it is. And that's pretty much the member portal. So I know, we've been chatting for a little bit, so I'm gonna just continue to quickly go through, but I will leave some room for questions at the end. I went over a little bit of the presentation and framing guidelines. Just take a look at it and know that we're looking for D-rings and wire. Make it easy for us. We will reject work if you don't put a proper hanging system on it. And if you watch the framing video that I just showed you where that was, deeply goes into detail on what we're looking for. But this is a nice little visual aid. We also have an exhibitor agreement, and I showed you where that was on our member portal. So the key points for the exhibitor agreement: every time you submit your work to any of our exhibitions via Art Call, you are basically signing this agreement. So I just want to cover that with you. The basics are: you retain the rights to your pieces, you set the prices. We do ask that you are consistent on the website. So if you have a personal artist website and your work is for sale for $100, and you know that you're gonna have to pay the commission rate, split your commission rate with the NHAA for one of our member shows, so you raise your prices to accommodate that. We really don't appreciate that as your gallery, as your representative. We ask that you be consistent on all of your materials. And that if you are showing your work at the NHAA and someone is discovering your work through the NHAA, that you see our role in being your marketing team, being your publicity team, promoting your work and all of the effort that we put into that, and pay us a commission, even if the exhibition happens outside of the time when the gallery show is up. So it is really common that someone will come to the opening reception or come on the weekends and see work and think about it for a few weeks and then come back to the gallery looking to purchase your artwork and see that the show's come down. So what I do is I send you an email and I say, hey, is your work still available? I have a buyer here who wants to buy it. And most of the time, the artist says, yes, I would love to sell that piece. It's still available. And if that happens, we just, it's part of the exhibition agreement is you understanding that we are still working for you in that moment and that we are still entitled for our portion of the commission. So really exciting upcoming exhibits and events. The Trash to Treasure show at Mosaic Art Collective is going to be on view until April 30th. So definitely check that out. Same with the Lassonde exhibition that's at our gallery in Portsmouth. We've already covered May, which is Element Art and Science member exhibition here in Portsmouth for you to apply for. Can't wait to see what you guys submit for that. The June exhibition is Prism Colors of Creativity. It's a Pride themed member exhibition. And Carl and Scotty, with your work with all of those rainbow colors, would be a really great fit for that. In July, we have our jury printmaking. And then in July and August, we have Creme de la Creme at the Art Center in Dover. And we have the Sheath Warehouse exhibition. So all of these, from May onward, these are all exhibitions that you can participate in, and we're really, excited to see what you submit. And we know that the first time that you submit, things can be a little bit difficult. So definitely reach out to the team if you have any questions. And I like to send emails at least once or twice a month that kind of go over what all of our upcoming opportunities are and just sort of remind you and nudge you to participate in those. Still need help? We're here for you. I recommend that you take all of these email addresses and put them in your contacts. My email address, you've already received some emails from me, so definitely grab that. Carol Van Loon, she is our exhibition and membership coordinator. Her email address is here. Mandela Pruitt is our new gallery assistant. She started with us at first as an intern in December. And if you volunteer on the weekends, you'll be working with her a lot. Whitney Fisher is our website manager. She will be reaching out to all of you about the member directory. We have a member directory on our website, and she will send you an online form that you have to fill out if you want to participate. And it's a Google form that will ask you some information to get your work on the website. And if you ever forget who to contact, this is our general inquiries email address. I monitor this one. So I check the email and I will forward it to the appropriate person if you forget who you should be talking to. You do send a lot of emails, so please, check your email regularly and make sure that none of our emails are going to spam, because we hate it when you're really excited to submit to Small Works and then I send you that email with the attached prospectus and then it bounces or it goes to your spam folder and then you forget about the opportunity and then you don't get to participate. So make sure that you add these to the contact list and let us know right away if you're not seeing our emails. And that's the end of the presentation. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. And if anyone has any questions that, from any of the material that I went over, please let me know.
It was a very thorough introduction.
Yeah, nicely done, nicely done.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda.
I've done
I
it
have
a
a
few
question.
times, so getting better at it. Go ahead, Scott.
Is there a fee for the plein air group?
There's no fee for any of our special interest groups.
Oh, okay.
And if you ever really want to participate in something and it's just a bad week or a bad month or something like that, we're really understanding of that. Just please contact us and let us know what's going on, and we'll be as accommodating as we can to whatever your financial situation is.
Is the Small Works Gallery in Portsmouth?
It is.
Nice.
It's a small area in the front of the main gallery, right when you walk in the door in Portsmouth.
Mhm.
I have a question. I submitted my works in oils to be, juried. And but if I have other mediums that I'm working in, can you submit other mediums or
Absolutely.
like Small Works or?
Absolutely. So we're not super strict about that, but we just ask you to understand that, especially as new members, we're all getting to know each other, right? So
Yeah.
if we feel like your work in oils was really strong, but the work that you're submitting for Small Works isn't quite up to par, just understand that we will give you feedback to maintain our high standards.
Of course. Yeah.
But we do encourage artistic risk taking. We want you to be exploring new mediums and trying different things. And, we don't expect your work to stay static. That's for sure. So definitely feel free to submit other things outside of what you showed for the jury.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you very much.
No,
Thank you all for being part of the NHAA. Welcome.
It was great. Thank you.
thank you very much.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
I hope
That's
you all have a great night, and I can't wait to see your submissions for Element and all these other upcoming opportunities that we have.
Great. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.